Alright, so we have finally made it to video number 9, the video here where we are going to be putting some of this stuff together and showing some example hooks of what we can create with this framework. So the attention framework here, video 9, let's jump into it. So the attention framework here helps you to create ad hooks that stop the scroll and instantly connect with your ideal customer. It happens in 2 steps, as we slightly mentioned in the last video here, which is choosing the strategic angle, and step 2 is applying a hook mechanic. So when it comes to the strategic angle, we're going to be asking ourselves what message will resonate most with our ICP's current belief or emotion. That's a way to get in and catch attention. So these 6 strategic angles are some of the most common ones that we can possibly use. And so the options that we have here is mechanism failure, belief flip, objection inversion, emotion first, identity reframe, and future pacing. And what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to choose a couple of these strategic angles that I think would be best for targeting my ICP and catching their attention. And by setting them aside, I will be able to just pick at them when I go ahead and try to create some hooks here. So the ones that I like is, I do like mechanism failure, because we're going to use that when a prospect feels like they've tried everything and nothing is working, which is pretty relatable to our ICP of trying to escape the 9 to 5. Belief flip, I think I already know how this works. I think there's a lot of false assumptions when it comes to 9 to 5ers and making money online, so we can use that. Objection inversion, that won't work for me, my niche. I'm not going to use that one. I don't think it's as strong as the other ones that I've talked about here. Emotion first, a lot of the emotions there of feeling overwhelmed, drained, etc. can definitely use a strategic angle on that. Identity reframe, not as interested in that one. I want freedom, status, growth, control. That one I could see being a possibility as well. So the options that I have in terms of strategic angles are these 4 right here, which I will go ahead and put down below. And again, I can pick at these and try to create hooks based on these strategic angles. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into hook mechanics. And hook mechanics, the question that we're going to ask here is, what ways of applying your message would catch your ICP's initial attention? And so these hook mechanics are things that you might have seen through a lot of popular media channels, a lot of hooks that you would see that might not have been verbalized on exactly how they work, but basically the description of them is here. So open loop is typically sparking curiosity, and it's something where you leave a slight question at the end of the hook that needs to be answered in the brain of the person watching the video or static image. Bold promise is commanding desire. We can go through these. There's a lot of options here. What I'll do is I'm going to use open loop, and I'm going to use bold promise. These are the ones that I'll use to create examples of hooks using our framework. So I'm going to grab these options here, and I'm going to grab these options here. I'm going to put these below, and we're going to go ahead and put together all of the information that we know. I do this a lot. It helps me to get into the right mind frame of creating these ads here. So I'm going to ask myself again the question, what are we targeting? We're targeting 9 to 5ers looking to escape, solution aware, stage 2 market sophistication. What does this mean? It means I need to speak to people actively looking for solutions, and my vehicle must be clear and stand out. We got into a little bit more information on this when it came to the offer video. Must be a believable path to achieving the outcome. I must also go ahead and exaggerate the claim of the vehicle. Stage 2 of market sophistication. What I've taken here, when I went ahead here and started using the attention framework, is for strategic angles, I have mechanism failure, belief flip, emotion first, and future pacing as options that I can use. And then I also have hook mechanics. I'm going to be using examples of open loop and also bold promise. So here we're getting into some examples using this framework. So 100 days to a business that could make your 9 to 5 optional. We are so proud to stand behind the statement that we backed it with a 10K and 100-day guarantee. So what's happening in this hook? We are talking about escaping the 9 to 5, which is the mass market desire that we want to be having bleed through the hook. Looking for solutions, we mention business. We didn't get into clarity on the vehicle here of the business model, and I did that for a reason, which I'll touch on in just a moment. We went ahead and exaggerated the claim, and strategic angle here is future pacing, and the hook mechanic was the bold promise. So what I did go ahead and do here is I didn't mention a remote cleaning business in the hook, because the default assumptions that come with a remote cleaning business I wasn't too sure about. And again, we talked about this about 2 videos ago in the offer video, where I underlined in red the fact that I thought there could be some negative default associations with a remote cleaning business. So the plan here is to go ahead and bring in the mention of a remote cleaning business into line 2, line 3, somewhere a little further down, because I don't want to lose people when a negative association with the word remote cleaning business when it comes to leaving their 9 to 5 and starting an online opportunity. Next hook here is, if you've been trying to escape your 9 to 5 with a business online and nothing's worked yet, this might be the easiest path you've never heard of. And so in this one here, again, escape 9 to 5, looking for solutions, similar situation here. I've mentioned business, but I haven't went into detail of the fact that the vehicle is a remote cleaning business. Strategic angle here is mechanism failure, and the hook mechanic is open loop. And so this might be the easiest path you've never heard of, and you've probably never heard of it in these last 2 examples here, is utilizing the open loop and the fact that we don't know the vehicle yet. That helps me to introduce the vehicle a little bit later in the ad and still catch people's attention on the fact that there is this business model that people don't know about, and that's the open loop, right? So again, using the open loop here and not mentioning the remote business opportunity. And so this is another excellent hook right here. And then the last one, trying to escape your 9 to 5, but every online business feels like another job. This one runs without you and you've probably never even heard about it. Escape your 9 to 5, again on this one, really important. Looking for solutions, mentioned business, but didn't mention a remote cleaning business. Strategic angle is mechanism failure. And in this one here, the hook mechanic is open loop. Now these are all very excellent hooks that have been used for remote cleaning businesses. And the thing is, I always look at these and I need to understand the fact that I am not necessarily the ICP for this offer. And so if you're trying to think through your own brain, come up with these ads and then think, oh, do I like this as a hook? You might be wrong, because again, you're not the ICP. These hooks will not land for me, as I'm not looking to escape my 9 to 5. These hooks might not land for you, but they do land extremely well based on the framework, and we can see as we go ahead and test these that it works extremely well. Because if you're not part of the ICP that is focused on these hooks, these could resonate, they could not resonate with you. That's oftentimes what I see as an issue for a lot of business owners trying to create hooks. They try to create hooks to catch their own attention, which is not necessarily for the ICP. So keep that in mind. And in the next video here, I'm going to go into details with the 2 main ways that I go ahead and create hooks. So you'll not want to miss that. We'll see you in that video in a moment. I'll catch you later.